After our analysis, we understand that the legacy gem unfortunately is not a satisfying result for the user according to their request. So we should rate relevance as bad in this case. And when you rate relevance below navigational or excellent, you will always have to indicate whether the issue was about user intent or distance prominence. So user intent should be used when the result itself does not satisfy the request of the user, in the sense that, for example, the user is looking for, in this case, the category gym, but the result is a restaurant with the name gym, for example. In that case, that would not be satisfying for the user, okay? Because that specific result doesn't belong to the category that the user was looking for, right? Distance prominent issue is exactly our case, because the legacy gym is a gym, so it belongs to the category that the user was looking for, but since there are better results that are closer to the location intent, we have to demote this because of distance. So we rate relevance as bad, and the reason for this is a distance prominent issue. Okay, so now we have rated relevance. So relevance, as I said, is strictly connected to the query, because a result is relevant if it satisfies the query. Okay, these other attributes, so name accuracy, address accuracy, and pin accuracy, are completely connected to the result itself. So a result can be not relevant, like this one as bad, but name accuracy, address accuracy, and pin accuracy could be perfect, because all the information reported here is correct. So the fact that relevance is bad does not influence the other attributes. So starting rating name accuracy. Name refers to this part right here, so the name of the result. Okay, we have to verify whether the name for this result is correct or not. Name accuracy also takes into consideration the classification given to the result itself. Okay, so you have to verify if the name is correct and if the classification given is correct. So according to the classification given sports, we can say that the classification for this POI, this result specifically, is correct, because sports, it's general, okay, it's not specific like gym or athletic gym or stuff like that, but since it is not misleading, even if the classification is a little more broad, it would be okay, because it is not misleading, it is not wrong. Okay, sports would be a good classification. So we now only have to verify the name. So how to verify the name of a result? We go back to the official website, to an official resource. In this case, we have found the official website here. So we can verify the name from this source right here. So as you can see here, we have welcome to Legacy Gym. Our sub would like to welcome you to Legacy Gym, Legacy Gym, Legacy Gym. Every time the result itself refers to their business, they refer to Legacy Gym with a space right here, while here the name reported doesn't have this space. This would be an error, because of course the official name of this POI is Legacy Gym with a space and not all united. In these cases, when the name has an issue, is misspelled, but it can still be recognized, we should rate name accuracy as partially correct. So correct should be used when the name is perfect, there's no issue, the classification is correct. Partially correct should be used exactly in this case when the name is wrong because it is misspelled. It is not the same name that business uses to refer to itself, but it is still recognizable by a person that sees this name, right? We still understand that it is the legacy gene. So we should demote not too harshly and only to partially correct. For address accuracy, we have to do the same, but with the address. Okay, so we have an address reported here in the address section, and we have to verify whether all the address components are correct or not. So let's go back to the official website again. Here we have hours and info, and we have a address reported here. Also, usually at the end of the website, you always find like a website, an address, a reference, or also in the contact section, contact us here. For example, you have all the information and also the address, the email. In the about us section of the website also there's always information, blah blah blah. So we have to verify whether the address reported here in trade rating or in the OneForma platform actually matches the address reported on the official website. So let's take this so we can compare the information that we have. So this is the address reported on the official website, right? So since we are rating United States queries, the address will be, of course, in the format used in this country. So usually US addresses are made of first street number, then street name, then the locality, then we have the country, and lastly we have the postal code. So this order should be respected in order for the address to be considered correct. So first we have the street number, right? So the street number reported here is 1891. We also have 1891. Then we have the street name, right? So Yellowstone Road. In this case, as you can see here, on the official website, they use the extended version of road, while in the address here, we only have the abbreviation, the abbreviated form. That would be RD. Since RD and road mean the same thing, like for example Ave and Avenue or street and ST, this should not be considered an error, okay? Since they mean the same thing, since they indicate the same street type, so in this case road, this is not an issue, this is not a problem, not an error we should report. So road, Rock Springs is the locality, Rock Springs matches the official website. Then we have the country, which is Wyoming in this case. Again, here it could be indicated as the abbreviated form, so only WY, or also the whole state name Wyoming. That would be not an issue, it's okay. And then we have the postal code, which is 82901, 82901. The address, all the elements of the address match the official website, so This means that the address is correct, and we have to rate address accuracy as correct. So since the address accuracy is correct, we do not have to check any of these boxes which will be used when a specific address component has issues. Lastly, we have to rate pin accuracy. So pin accuracy basically is comparing, verifying whether the pin reported here on the platform matches the actual location of the result in the real world. So how can we do that? We use again Google Maps. So now that we know we are referring to this specific result right here, we can use this one. So as you can see here, the actual location of the result is here. This is the polygon that represents the rooftop area of this result. So the pin, in order to be perfect, should be within this area right here. We have verified already through street imagery that this is exactly where the result is. So we know that this is the correct location of the result, right? So going back here to the platform, let's remove this. We see that actually the pin of the result, so here, if you see here, you go and you have legacy pin. In this case, the pin does not represent the actual location of the legacy gem, because here, again, let's take this and compare the two maps. Just a second here. Okay, sorry. This one. Okay, here. Here we can identify the same area, right? So the actual position of the legacy gem is here, which corresponds on our map on this part right here, on this polygon right here. And we also have in the platform the actual pin of the gem, which is part of the map, not the pin we are rating. The pin we are rating is the red one, as we saw earlier, okay? And in this case, actually the pin falls on the wrong rooftop, okay? Because as I said, the pin, in order to be considered perfect, should fall on the rooftop area of this polygon right here, while on the platform the polygon is on another business. Okay, so we can already exclude the rating of perfect and approximate because these do not apply. The only ratings that could apply in this case could be wrong and next door. So we have to verify whether this specific position here, if this rooftop area right here, can be classified as a next door pin. So let's say that we have doubts about next door. Let's go back to the guidelines. Okay, here you have the all the sections, and we also have a section dedicated to next door. So let's look for next door. Here you can look for specific keywords by clicking Ctrl F or Command F if you are on iOS, and look for a specific word in a document. So here we see that this is the section dedicated to pin accuracy next door. So let's see what the guidelines say about next door. So a pin is considered next door if it drops on the immediate property next to the intended one. A next door pin must be on the same street as the intended property, The next door property must share the same street name as the intended property, on the same side of the street as the intended property, the first property to any side of the intended property, on the same block as the intended property. So let's see if all these characteristics apply to our case. So going back here, so the pin should be here, right? We have the actual location of the POI on this rooftop right here. But the pin we have on the platform falls on this other property. So this other property, as we can see here, is on the same street as the intended property. As you can see here, we have Yellowstone Road. This other property is also on Yellowstone Road. They must be on the same side of the street, so if we take this as right and this as right and this as left, they are both on the left side of the Yellowstone Road, right? This property right here is the first property to any side of the intended property. So let's say that, for example, the pin would drop on this property right here. This would not be the direct first property, okay? So since this is the first property to any side of the intended property, yes, this could be classified as a next door. And lastly, they have to be on the same block as the intended property. They are on the same block, so actually this pin right here, this one, could be classified as next door. So pin should be next door. We actually have rated everything. Let's double check our ratings. Okay, so the query, the user, we understood that they were looking for a category query, which is Jim, plus a location modifier near me. So we know that the user is looking for any result that belongs to this category, and that relevance is based on the location of the user, because the user is expecting the results near their location. Then, is there a navigation result for this query? No, because this is a category query. Category queries do not have navigational results, because any result belonging to that specific category could be excellent. Then we have the result. The title is not in an unexpected language. We have verified that the POI is open and active, so these two do not apply. Relevance, we have checked on Google Maps all the other possible results that were near the location intent, in this case the user location, and there were many more results that could be better satisfying for the request. So this one in particular, the legacy gym, would be rated bad because of distance, not because of user intent, because this is actually a gym, so it fits the request, but it is too far from the location intent. Name accuracy, we rated partially correct because the name here is missing a space between the word legacy and gym. Classification can be considered correct, so that is not an issue. The only issue is exactly this missing space right here. And for pin, we have verified the actual location of the result in the real world, and we have compared the pin on the platform with the actual location of the result in the real world, and they do not match. Since the pin falls on the next door property, we have rated pin accuracy as next door. Now, the last thing we have to do here is leaving a comment. So, comments are considered mandatory whenever there is any issue with the data presented. In this case, we have many issues here because the relevance is rated bad for distance, so we should add a comment about relevance. So relevance is bad because there are many other results near the location intent. In this case would be the user location. Then another issue was with the name. Name is partially correct because it is missing a space between legacy and gym. Then address was correct, so we don't have to include any comment about this. And then pin. Pin is next door as it falls on the immediate next property to the actual location of the result. So we have completed, we rated everything, we have double checked everything. We added a comment about the issues and we can submit. So here, as you can see, everything is correct. Whenever you see here, so if the text appear to be green, it means that you have rated correctly. Okay, so here, no is the correct, the expected answer. Here, no checkbox should be ticked, so we did good. The expected rating for relevance is bad, partially correct, correct. No checkbox here to tick. Pin accuracy next door and our comment. When you click on next, you will get a new survey.